Okay, guys, welcome to another video with Uncle P for our week coming up. And I wanted to remind you guys that we still have the specials going on. Let me see if I can pull that up for you. Let me pull this on screen. So don't forget that we still have the $49 sales. I'm just going to extend it a little bit longer because a lot of people say, hey, I need a little bit more time. I did post in there. Let me make this bigger so you guys can see it. There we go. This was a Black Friday, but I'm still continuing. Again, I just want you guys to end the year positively. And keep in mind that when you do get one of the trading systems down here, the Simplicity, which is normally $300, it's only 49 bucks. Ocean Wave is normally $300, 49 bucks. Scanner, which goes with the Simplicity system, is normally $169. It's just 49 bucks. And the Too Easy system, which is normally $100, is just 49 bucks. Now, remember to take a look at the codes. For Simplicity, you're going to use code 49. For Ocean Wave, you're going to use code 49. For Simplicity Scanner, you're going to use Black Friday. And for Too Easy, you're going to use code 2EZ. All right. So also, you're going to get the free daily dot indicator. And that's something I've been using for many, many years. In fact, you can see it right here. This tells me where the daily levels are, where regardless of what time frame I'm on, I can always find the daily levels and I can find out whether price is going to break through and use it as support like it did here, or whether it's going to use it as a resistance level as it did on this pair here. And you can see right there, on this one, you see price stopped right at the daily levels. Okay, so it's very good for that purpose to find those daily levels so that you'll know, okay, where is price action based on the daily. Now, keep in mind, it doesn't mean, so like in this situation, it respected it, but it doesn't mean that it's always just going to stop there. I just want to give that disclaimer, but it does give you a good heads up as to where the daily levels are. So for an example, you can see this right here, and you can see the price action is hesitating right there at the daily level. Right here, you can see Simplicity sent an arrow on the buy arrow right as it bounced right off of the daily level, and we're on the on the 1 hour time frame. So it's going to show up for you regardless of what time frame you're on. See, here's the daily level, but now we're on the 15-minute. So you're always going to know exactly where the daily level is. So that's going to be free with the purchase of any of the trading systems. Okay. Now let's get into news before we get into the charts for this week. Give me a second. Let me pull that up for you. So I have several screens, guys. Hold on one second. All right. So right here, we have news coming up. This is going to be a very, very, very impactful week. So just be prepared and know what's going to happen. So first of all, we have a AUD coming out with their interest rate news. CAD is coming out with their interest rate news. But this is the big kahuna right here. And I want to mark it off for you guys. This is the one you better pay attention to. Right here. This is going to set the tone for a lot of different things. So all eyes on the market is going to be set based on this news event right here. The Fed interest rate news. Okay. Fed interest rate news. So everybody's going to be watching this, so just make sure you pay attention to this. Okay, now the Swiss is coming out also on Thursday with their interest rate news, and then the Feds are coming. The U.S. dollar is coming out with PPI numbers. So we basically got 4 high impact news events for this week coming up, and that is interest rate news for these pairs. So you do not want to play around with these pairs when they're about to announce their interest rate news. Take a screenshot of it. Take a screenshot, take a screenshot, take a screenshot. This is critically important. Okay. In fact, while you guys are taking a screenshot, I'll do it later. I'll put it into my group. All right. Now, let's move on to the charts and let's see what the charts are talking about this week. So again, a lot of these have done exceedingly abundantly above what they should have done. I'm just playing. And again, you can see the daily dot. Most of the time, price action, especially from the 4 hour or from the daily, you can see that price action is respected when it hits these daily dot levels. However, sometimes some of these pairs are going to push through and it has nothing to do with normal price action. It just means that something is basically going on with this pair. And so therefore it's in a very, very high movement to the upside. So you can see right here that AUD across the board had something positive going on with it. So it's bouncing. Now see, this one respected the daily level, came down and bounced off of it, and it broke through this one a little bit, and now it's coming back to it. So it doesn't mean it's going to just stay there at the daily level. It can break through there and come back, but most of the time it won't do that. Why? Because it's respecting the daily level. But you do have to pay attention to look at that daily level. Oh, that was respected. Look at this one, respected, respected. So when you combine this with the simplicity system, especially after 15 minutes, you just sit and wait for a good alert, and then you go from there. Like this one said, okay, to buy right here, here's the daily level, and the thing took off. But when the pairs are actually having some news that's impacting them, then they're going to be disrespectful. And not by much, but you can see it right here. But other than that, it respected it there. Price action respected it there. So what is causing the AUD to be overextended? That's a good question that I don't know the answer to. But here's what happens. It may break through, and look what happened. This is AUD CAD. When it breaks through, I'm still going to keep my eyes out on the pair because I know it's not going to stay up that way long. It's typically some news event happened on that currency pair, and therefore it's causing that currency to overextend its welcome to whichever way, to the upside or downside. But when it crashes, like CAD did, CAD had news on Friday. Look at how this thing just crashed. So that's pretty good. But as far as what do I see for this week on this, I'm going to watch it for when it turns around into a sale. So I'm going to keep my eye on the 15-minute for a sale. And if it sells off, then I'll get into the AUD JPY. Same thing here, nothing there. I don't see anything attractive that I like. Nothing attractive there. AUD CAD has already crashed. This one, I'm going to keep my eye out for a 15-minute seller to see when this is going to sell off because it's highly overextended its stay. So therefore, it may come back and crash a bit. So let's just see what happens. And let's mark up from the daily and see if there's anything here. All right, so I'm going to put that line there, and you can see it's kind of hovering to a level off the daily time frame. So therefore, it can either stop right here, but continue to push all the way up here. We'll have to see. Now, you know I'm not a fan of trading reversals on Sundays and Mondays. Okay, I'm just not a fan of that. Normally, the market continues in the same direction that it finished off on the prior week. So it may continue to climb up. And if it does, then that means it may kind of try to retest this level up here, somewhere up in this area right here. So in between this range right here, okay, that's where it may push to. And I'll pull this down on the 4-hour. So it can use this, as you can see, is using the daily level as support now. So that means if it pushes up higher, it could push all the way up by another 56 pips. Do I think it's going to do that? I doubt it, but either way it goes, I'm just going to wait for the simplicity system or whatever to give me a sell arrow, and then we go from there. In the meantime, I'm not worried about trying to buy it. It's way overextended, but we'll see how the market goes. Okay, now this one again, this is a CAD pair. It had good news come out, so therefore you can see it shot up. And, it's in the sell territory still. So this week, I'm actually looking for a sell-off on CAD JPY. Swiss JPY, I don't see anything. CAD Swiss, it also overextended itself due to the news event. And if you're new to the markets, anytime you see these big, quick candles, that means it was just a news event. Nothing important, okay? So basically what happens is after everybody gets excited, then it starts to sail back down, okay? And vice versa if it's a buy. However, right here, you could have seen that it was going to do that in advance right here because guess what? It was already in an upward trend, clustered, and then broke through. So that was a givey. That was a givey. All right. But either way it goes, I'm not a fan of CAD Swiss anyway, so let's keep it moving. All righty then. This one here, nothing. Nothing. This one I will be personally waiting for a buy setup. You can see I drew a support line right here on the daily time frame. And this is a strong support level. This used to be resistance, then turned support, turned resistance, came back to be support. So this is a very, very strong level. So I do believe it'll probably come back down into that level, Euro AUD. And if it does come back into that level, and levels out, then I'll be waiting for a buy, and that will be at the 1.74776 level. So I think it'll probably push down and somewhere into this level before turning back around. So a long story short, waiting for a buy setup. All right. So on this one here, you can see that this one has overextended itself and should be coming down like it did here and like it did here for a sale. Okay. So that's where that one came in. This was a late entry on this one. I'll actually probably close out because it'll probably pull back up. So as soon as the market open, I'll just closed this trade out. It didn't move like I thought it would on Friday. So that's that. All right. Anyway, moving forward, let's keep going. All right. So now if I mark a simple line across the top, this is the Euro Swiss, and it is hitting a very, very strong resistance level. We already see that it started to reject right off of that level. So I don't think that this will continue to push up. It can, but we'll see what the market does. But I'll be waiting for a sell entry on that one. Okay. Now, CAD's dropped hard. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. This one is cool. Okay, so this is one I took a little small, tiny position. And this is my little tiny account, and then I transfer and take bigger trades on my larger funded accounts. But to measure out the stop loss and take profits and to see, this and that. So I use a little tiny account to do that. So this is where a sale opportunity came in. This could push through, but as you can see, it dropped pretty nicely. Why is it in negative 7.5? That's because of the spreads. You can see that over the weekend, which is why I tell you guys between 5 and 6 p.m., never take a trade. Never, 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 never. So I'm actually in this by 30 pips already, but you can see the spread is at 30 pips. So now it put me at negative 7, but did I make money on this one? Yes. So across the board on all of my accounts, this one actually is in profit. Okay. And technically by 23 pips right now as it stands. Now, this one is because I saw this level was being respected, the daily. Here's my daily, which is why I said if you get any of my trading systems, you get the daily dot indicator, and it kind of see how it respected it down here. It respected it over there, and it's respecting it right here. So as soon as it touched there, it hit, went down, retested, and I got in on the retest. So I'll probably hold this one across all of my accounts. And see what happens, okay? But that's what that basically happened. You see the sell arrow came in on simplicity. It kind of went up and retested and then dropped. But that's why I have my stop up higher, just in case they tried to do the foolish stop hunt. Okay, so GJ, I'm going to hold my sell position. This one already dropped, and look at this. Daily dot was respected on the bounce, respected here, respected, and respected here. So when it came up here, guess what? 15-minute arrow. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Daily dot. Bow. It dropped hard. Okay. So this is why if you get one of the trading systems while it's on sale, you're going to get the daily dot for free. A lot of people have been wanting that daily dot for years, and I never sold it, but you got your opportunity to get it for free. Okay. All right. So it's like buy one, get one free. All right. Let's keep going. I don't see anything here. GU, same thing. Bottom line, it came up to an area, respected the daily dot level. And this is 13 pips in spread. So I'm actually up about 13 pips in profit on this one. I'll probably hold it. Look at the daily levels. If I just drew a simple trend line from the dailies, you can see that, okay, here we are. It's respecting the daily level. So if it pops back up, it's no big deal. I don't care. No, I don't make a big deal of that stuff. But anyway, if I was just to draw a line off the daily level coming across, let me draw this, pull this down a little bit more right there. All right, boom, 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 broke up, came back down, resistance, respected. Okay. And all you need is a couple of taps at the beginning, a couple of taps in the middle, and a couple of taps at the bottom. And there you go. You got yourself an official trend line. Okay. So it tapped in the middle, tapped at the top, middle, and here. So that's the official trend line for this pair. So therefore, as you can see, no matter what time frame I'm on, I'm going to see my trend line, and you can see that it did respect the trend line, okay? So therefore, the daily dot is here. It respected my trend line, and so forth. Look at that. Bink, 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 and got rejected, and this is the 4-hour time frame, and you can see rejection there. And you can see why I put my stop loss right above this level, because this is where the candles got rejected several times. So if it does come back up, then okay, no problem. I'm out of this trade, and that's that, okay? I need to move my stop when the market opens a little bit more across all of my accounts, so it respects this level way back here, and that's only going to be a couple extra pips, but I'm liking that sale position on GU. All right. Also, in my personal opinion, I think they're setting up for the Fed interest rate news that's coming out this week. But who knows? Okay, this one I don't know what's going on. The NZD, man, they've been celebrating because they had some good news. But CAD, look at that, respected the daily. respected the daily, respected the daily, respected the daily, respected the daily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And guys, if you really want to just be a swing trader, it would be a nice thing to just, get the simplicity system with the scanner, and pay the $100. You're going to get the daily dot indicator, and therefore you got everything you need. So basically, when price action comes to the daily levels, all you do wait for the scanner to send you an alert on the 15-minute. Look at there, right there. Now you patiently wait, and patience paid the bill. So right here, you put your stop right above that level, boom, 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 and then cascaded into 80 pips. Okay. So basically all you're doing is just watching this 4-hour level, keeping your eye on the 4-hour levels. Or what you could simply do is once it reaches the daily dot and you see this thing slowing down, enter your trade, put your stop above the daily dot. Or if you're in the buy, put your stop below the daily level and just sit and wait. I mean, it's really that simple. Okay. Really that simple. See what I mean? Look at this. Here was a trade, hit this level. Okay. As soon as it does, enter the trade, put your stop above the daily level and wait. Right here, came down, candle popped right here. It respected it. Put your stop below the daily level and it went up. Same thing here. Stop above the daily level, then drop right here, daily level and up. Daily to the daily to the daily. Okay. All right. See how this respected it? And this is gold. Respected it, respected it. Now, again, guys, that doesn't mean that it's always going to do that, because there can be times where news can break past it and cause this kind of issue. As you can see right here, it did break past it because of news. And how do you know? Because all of them did it at the same time. All AUD pairs broke through the daily level at the same time. But as you can see, when it does come back, it comes back hard and strong. Okay. All right. Same thing. See, so therefore I don't trip off of that. Notice where I drew my line here. Okay. See where I drew my line? All right. Look at what happened. Price action broke through and now it's coming right back to that level again. So it only broke through simply for one simple reason. Why? Because of news. Other than that, it typically respected. Okay. All right. So anyway, outside of that, guys, that's pretty much it for the charts. I showed you what I'm looking at. I showed you a little simple method that you can use to create some profits for yourself, and you do your thing. All right, guys. Peace and hair grease. See you in the next video.